Curlfriend, you can definitely grow long and strong, fine natural hair in 2023. First, do you even want these tips? Go ahead and smash that like button if you want to know exactly what these tips are, and let's get right on to it. Number one, all of your products should have tons of slip. Yes, your shampoo, your conditioner, definitely your deep conditioner, your leave-in conditioner, the products that you use in the week. If those products are not giving you slip, Curlfriend, do me a favor and get rid of them because they have no place in a fine naturals hair care regimen. Number two, I'm gonna want you to pre-poo your fine natural hair before every single wash, with the exception of your co-washes. Now, for those of you out there who, you like an oil-based pre-poo, or you like a gel-based pre-poo, or you like a water-based pre-poo, it really doesn't matter. What I'm looking for here is to make sure that you're giving your strands something before you go on into that wash day process. Number three, the fine natural hair care regimen doesn't have to be confusing, especially when it comes to deep conditioning. So the next tip that I'm gonna want you to do in 2023 is to go ahead and rotate your protein and your moisturizing deep conditioners. Every single week or every other week or every other month, however frequent your particular wash date is, I'm definitely gonna want you to just alternate what products you're using as it relates to your deep conditioners so that you make sure that your hair is always protein and moisture balanced. Number four, don't be afraid to be a product junkie. Curlfriend, the only reason why I know what works for my fine natural strands is because I've used a ton of products, I've tried a ton of different techniques, and I've really just paid attention to what works and what doesn't work. And because I did that, I'm now in a place where I know exactly what kind of products work for my fine natural strands. I know exactly what kind of products I'm going to be using in the future. And I just have a really good idea of what works for me and what doesn't. Number five, this is gonna sound so cliche, but it's real. It's so real, and that's to eat a healthy diet. I kid you not, since I decided to get real about my, fitness regimen, I've been going hard at the gym since about August 2022, and I've recently turned my mind to eating healthy. I've seen a dramatic difference in how my hair care regimen is performing on my strands. Before, back in the beginning of 2022, it was performing, but there definitely is a marked difference in how my strands are performing now that I've gotten my nutrition and my healthy, diet, that kind of a thing, veggies, fruits, all that good stuff. I finally got it under control. There really is something to be said about eating healthfully and that benefiting your body in so many different ways, shapes, and forms. So definitely get in on the good food trend. And on that note, make sure to eat tons of healthy sources of protein. So don't be telling me that those fried chickens and those fried chicken wings are healthy sources of protein. They are not. I'm talking eggs, lean turkeys, lean chickens, the things we know we should be eating more of, and for whatever reason, taste being one of them, we're not. So definitely make sure that you are eating your lean proteins because it really does matter. Curlfriend, we've been talking about fine natural hair for a while, as well as, the tips and tricks that work really well for fine natural strands. Have you tried any of the tips that I've mentioned so far? If you have, definitely go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below, because I'd love to know what tips you've tried and what tips you think and have noticed are working really well for your fine natural hair journey. Number six, this is the most painful of them all, but it really works, and that's to get your trims regularly. Yes, I know it's counterintuitive. I mean, if you're trying to grow longer, stronger strands, why would I also be cutting them off? It makes sense. Believe me, it makes sense. Because you don't want to leave those split ends at the bottom of your strands. It's literally just going to travel up the hair shaft and continue to break off. So to cut that terrible cycle off immediately, I'm going to want you to make sure that you trim your hair regularly. Now, what does that even look like? That looks like identifying, when your strands start to lose the integrity at the bottom of the hair, when it starts to look kind of like raggedy on the ends. For me, that's usually around the 3 to 4 month mark. 3 months if I've done a lot of styles that, really weren't the best for the health of my fine natural strands. 4 months, if I've been on top of my low manipulation hairstyles, my protective styling, I can sometimes stretch it an extra month and get away with that. But for the most part, you probably don't want to be going any more than 4 months straight without a trim on your fine natural strands. Number 7, I'm gonna want you to protect your strands at night. Someone like me, I make sure that my strands are always under some type of satin lining, something even down to this head wrap that I'm wearing right now, or the headband down here is nice and it's got a satin finish to it. At night, I like to sleep on a satin pillowcase, and I also sleep with a satin bonnet. I double up on it because sometimes the satin bonnet falls off at night. So if that happens in the middle of the night, I can rest assured knowing that my strands are still protected because I am sleeping on a satin pillowcase as well. On that note, I say this quite often, but the reason why I say it quite often is because sleeping on a satin pillowcase, sleeping with a satin bonnet, it really does make a difference for preventing tangles and matting and, unexpected and even unknown breakage while you sleep. If you're one of those people who are still sleeping on a cotton pillowcase, you're still sleeping with cotton headscarves on your head, girlfriend, what are you doing? I'm gonna want you to chuck those cotton items to the side. Keep it for, I don't know, something else, maybe your wigs, or when you're not rocking your fine natural strands out and about in their full glory. And only reserve the good stuff, the silk and the satin, for your fine strands and to touch your fine strands directly. Everything else need not apply. Number 8, avoid heat styling your fine strands. Now, this doesn't apply to the Revere, which is amazing as it relates to fine natural strands. This only applies to your flat irons, your traditional blow dryers, any kind of a heat tool that's gonna change the texture of your strands. Those are the kinds of things that cause breakage. Now, if you are gonna be using a safe heat tool like the Revere, which is something that I use very regularly on my fine natural strands, you're still going to need to go in with a heat protectant. And for something like that, I would recommend the Chi Silk Infusion because that's really gonna be excellent at protecting your strands and making sure that the little bit of heat that is used on your strands, the little bit of manipulation that is applied to your hair is going to be protected with the use of a fantastic heat protectant. Now, I've been using this heat protectant for quite some time now. I would say upwards of 5 to 6, even 7, 8 years. And each and every single time, it's never failed me. It's a holy grail heat protectant product that I continue to use again and again and again. So if that's something you're interested in, then definitely go ahead and check out the description box where all of the information about the products mentioned will be contained within that area. As for the Revere, it is quite pricey. However, here on Fine Natural Hair Rocks, you and the rest of the Curlfriend crew have access to a 10% off discount code, which you can absolutely use whenever you're ready to make that investment. Number 9, I'm gonna want you to massage your scalp. Now, admittedly, I don't really do this tip that often. However, I really do want to hit at least waist length this year or mid-back length. And so it might be something that I will incorporate into my hair care regimen. I might as well do it while I'm talking to you right now, because why not? But all jokes aside, massaging your scalp is going to increase the blood flow to your strands, which is going to allow for whatever hair is growing out of your scalp to grow out of your scalp in a very healthy, thick, optimal type of way. Now, this is anecdotal evidence. I do believe that there is some scientific evidence to prove that that actually is the case for, stimulating hair growth. But it doesn't hurt. And after a long week of stress, after just kind of relaxing, it feels really nice too. So, get your massaging your scalp on. You can definitely do that massaging your scalp for 5 to 10 minutes on a nightly basis. But if you're like me and you really like the way it feels, that's one of those things where I feel like you could do more and kind of get away with it. And it's free, it's your fingers, it's your scalp. Why not? 10, you're gonna wanna use fine natural hair care products. Now, a lot of the products out there, admittedly, they are not marketed for fine natural strands, especially as it relates to curly and coily hair. That's where Fine Natural Hair Rocks is here to help you. I actually have an entire Amazon storefront, which has all of the products that I love the most that are now holy grails in my particular regimen. And I've compiled them together for you to make it super easy. Now, you know, there are also other products out there that are not a part of the Amazon storefront that are absolutely helpful as well. So to that, I say, go ahead and smash the subscribe button and hit up the notification bell button as well too, because I am always checking out new products, trying out new trends, and really seeing what works the best for fine natural strands. If that's something that you want to be up on and you never ever want to miss out, I'm gonna encourage you to take it a step further and go ahead and hit up the link right there to join the Curlfriend Crew newsletter list so you really and truly never ever miss out. Tip number 11, and I have no more hands for this, is to get enough rest. The way our bodies respond to being completely exhausted, completely tired out, it responds in very unknown and unpredictable ways. It cannot be good for hair care to be completely depleted of energy, to be completely depleted any kind of ability to do anything beyond sleeping. And so I really do think taking care of your body from the inside out is gonna make a difference for your fine natural hair care regimen in the immediate moment and also in, you know, time and years to come. So definitely take care of yourself. Fine natural hair care being optimized is definitely a benefit, but there are also so many other more reasons why you should absolutely take care of the needs of your body and rest when you need that rest. Tip number 12 is something I say all the time, and you wanna make sure that you're deep conditioning your strands on a regular basis. Now, earlier in this video, we talked about alternating the types of deep conditioning treatments that you do, you know, with protein and moisture, but ultimately speaking, you want to make sure that you are deep conditioning your strands after every single shampoo wash. And I'm gonna say it again, after every single shampoo wash. You don't wanna be deep conditioning your strands after a co-wash. That could lead to buildup, especially if you've got low porosity strands or medium porosity strands. My high porosity curl friends, you might be able to get away with it, but for the rest of us, stay away from the deep conditioning treatments if you are doing a co-wash. Tip number 13 is to avoid tight hairstyles. So even the hairstyle that I'm wearing right now, I went ahead and just did a really light bun on my strands. My edges are not stressed out. I went ahead, I put a nice headband on top that, once again, it's got a satin lining underneath to make sure that I'm not incurring unintended and unnecessary damage. Now, if you are wearing a protective style, maybe you're wearing a wig, maybe you're wearing extensions, whatever it is that you're wearing, you wanna make sure that it's not installed tightly and that it's not putting undue stress on your fine strands. Undue stress, anything that's super tight is going to stress out the strands to the point where they're gonna pop right out. And you don't want that to happen. So to avoid that, always make sure that you're doing a temperature check of how tight your strands are installed to make sure that you're not unnecessarily causing breakage and losing strands directly from the root on out. Tip 14, and that is to detangle your strands with as much TLC, so that's tender, loving care, as possible. You know, I've gone through so many different versions of detangling to land upon what works best for me. And in my regimen, and this might be different from your regimen, but in my regimen, what works best is using my fingers first, starting from the bottom of the strands on up, and then going in with a wide, seamless tooth comb. Now, my favorite is the Magic Sageman 9 wide tooth comb, and it's seamless. It really goes through my strands very well. It's a comb that's quite stiff, and it just works amazingly. Definitely don't worry about any of the products that I mentioned because I am leaving them all in the description box down below. Curlfriend, with these simple tips, you can absolutely grow long and strong fine natural hair in 2023. But I do want you to remember that this takes time, it takes patience, and it's a process of consistency. So the more you establish that patience, you apply that patience, you really approach your journey from a place of consistency, I promise you're gonna see the results. Curlfriend, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you are a subscriber, just check beside it to make sure that you hit up that notification bell. And if you are new to Fine Natural Hair Rocks, go ahead and check out the link right here for our newsletter list so you never miss another video or one of our weekly live stream episodes, which take place every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Curlfriend, you and I have been communicating through the community tab, and I know for a fact that you want to grow your strands as long and as strong as possible. But I also know that you want to grow your strands as thick as possible. Last year, I implemented some changes to my regimen that really thickened my strands on up, and it's the reason why I'm enjoying that thickness to this very day. If you're interested in seeing exactly how I was able to thicken up my strands while lengthening my strands, then definitely stay tuned for next week's video where I talk exactly about how to thicken your fine natural strands in 2023 and beyond. In the meantime, go ahead and like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and check this video next if you want to see exactly how I was able to thicken up my fine natural strands in 2022 and beyond. Thank you so much for watching this video, Curlfriend. It means the world to me. I will see you in the next video. Bye.